Welcome!
Hi, welcome!
In the time I've been away, I've been aggressively ill. I wish it was a holiday. A lot of brands have dropped a lot of new products. Charlotte Tilbury is ever expanding her cheaply produced line. Mecca just dropped a ton of new products. The Elf debacle is in full swing. And the launch of Louis Vuitton Beauty with Pat McGrath at the helm is now available for pre-order. But I crawl out of my contagious cesspool for a moment to reflect on a release from who might be the greatest vocalist of our time, Victoria Beckham. So for a little while now, Victoria Beckham Beauty has been teasing a new launch, going as far as to create a coming soon page on her website. And as the world gushed and speculated as to what it might be, and before she launched it with Women's Wear Daily, to which she shares a history of being championed by, I knew exactly what it was. Now, if you're new here, I've clocked every new launch that Victoria has made. I spotted the upcoming iWardrobe launch, the new primers, and even some of her yet to be released products that she accidentally slipped in some of the behind the scenes footage of one of her recent fashion shows. So a few months ago, my darling Victoria dropped brushes. Video on that coming up. And I spotted something straight away. What is this you see? Now, when we look at the brushes available, no foundation brush. Now, why would she contain a foundation brush? You can tell by the dent in the ferrule and the shape of the bristles. At the front and center of her campaign images, and no foundation, given every single brush correlates to a product from her line. Because she's dropping them both on September 3rd, it was originally meant to be the 4th, but they changed it, which is interesting. I noticed for a few weeks she wasn't offering a gift with purchase, which I suspected meant an upcoming launch, which she has now changed as of yesterday, which is back to getting the free Portofino jelly pouch, which honestly, if this is going to solidify your purchase, it's not the best. Sorry, Vickulicious. I mean, it's nice, but it's just not as nice as her gifts with purchase from the past, and really does feel like a cop-out. It's also something you can't buy on the website, whereas, apart from the artist palette that I mentioned in my previous video, gifts were typically a tester or a full-size product, which realistically makes sense because it would implore customers to become repeat customers if they enjoy the product. Also note the gaps in numbers on the brushes, which means we can definitely expect more brushes in the future. Even if not set in stone, it allows the brand some freedom, especially when tying their products to a numerical system of brushes. Now, is this a product and a brush I will get? I can tell you right now, I'll be skipping the brush. I freaking hate flat foundation brushes. And sneak preview, the number 12 buffer brush is an absolute game changer when it comes to foundation and concealer. She even suggests this with a product image on the face section of her website, and has since released a corresponding foundation brush image. But it's also odd that, with a concealer in her line, this was the graphic that they chose, suggesting that it was for foundations, when she was pushing it solely for her blush and contour stylist. Realistically, Vicky, you need to update the product image, especially given your push of the brush with the new color wash. But will I get the foundation? With 2.4 mils of concealer at $114 price point, and another sneak preview, it turned and smells completely rancid, and that happened within 2 weeks of getting the product. It's really going to depend on the price point. So I just learned that the product is $110 US, which comes in roughly at 170 Australian dollars. I mean, we knew it would be pricey, given that she trials her products for a very long time.
Victoria Beckham is wearing her own foundation, which she is developing at the moment, which is actually a secret, but it's fantastic.
And that video is around 5 years old. One can only assume that the product is decent. But not all products work for all skin types, needs, and lifestyles. Another thing is the size. I mean, look at the image. I knew it was going to be smaller from the shadowing, and at the time of recording, this just dropped. That's tiny. And for reference, this is the size of the concealer pen. It's also a questionable choice, given her push with the Ellis pump in the concealer pen, that she chose this horrendous dropper style component. As with the TCFA in the product, this will allow air into the product, and therefore cause the product to spoil and oxidize. They're also notoriously bad components to get products out of, which means unless you break the component open, you stand to lose a lot of the foundation. Another thing to note is that an airless pump is much more expensive to produce. If this is a luxury line, they can absolutely absorb some of the costs, as we are already paying a premium. And if she tries to blame it on being the perfect dropper, which dispenses the right amount of product, you actually have more control over an airless pump. With all that being said, we're forgetting one very important point. She's dropping this just in time for my birthday! Alongside her Netflix documentary. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe so I can afford it.